All right, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the third video. Today I am drinking a Trader Joe's sparkling lime water, top tier vintage. Today's topic is returning to the office. So for all of you corporate 9-to-5 types out there who are being asked to return to the office or who are in the middle of a job search, talking to employers, this video is for you. I want to help you understand why returning to the office is unnecessary. And I also want to break down the main arguments that your employer will have for asking you to come back to the office. I had to have this difficult conversation with my employer while I was negotiating my salary and my compensation package, etc. And this was a key component of the deal for me, which was the ability to work remote. And I believe that it is something that everyone should fight for. The real reason that companies want you in the office is control. That's really all it is. There are a few reasons they will say to you as being the reason, but the real underlying reason is control. So number one, the first and most foundational reason that companies insist that you come into the office is that they believe you must be in an office in order to do the work. The truth is, if you work in HR, finance, accounting, administrative, any sort of job where you're working an administrative task, you do not need to be in an office. Long ago, we had to be in an office. And the reason is that businesses had sensitive files, financials, budgets, contracts, etc., that could only be accessed in the office. So they needed admin people to come into the office to look at those documents and do work around them. Now, with technology, that is clearly not a problem anymore. We all know what computers can do. We're able to access folders, files, etc., using the cloud. There's no point to going into a shared geographical location to do the work. It's not necessary. The second reason that your employer will ask you to come into the office is that it is necessary to maximize productivity. If anyone's actually had the privilege of working remote, you'll know that you are just as productive, if not more productive, at home. I would actually argue you are more productive at home because you are not being bothered by people swarming around your cubicle, walking past your desk, being distracted in an open floor plan. I don't know about you, but when I'm in an office with those cut, like the flat cut cubicles, I'm like one of those lemurs where I'm looking everywhere. I can't help it. Okay, I'm easily distracted. I have to look at the wall. I have to face away from people in order to stay focused. I would actually argue that whole environment, that mess, is not conducive to productivity. Here's a great example of this. Last week, I was in the office. I go out there every month or so. I overheard one of our chief executive officers, and he said, "Wow, I was in traffic for 3 hours. Good to finally be here." He showed up around 9:30, 10. So this is a smart guy, and he just burned 3 hours of his day stuck in traffic. Think of all the mental energy he expended by trying to wade through all of that mess. And now he has to start his day late. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of his mental resources. I don't see how forcing people to show up to a shared location somehow maximizes productivity. It doesn't make sense, especially when the environment isn't good for you. The office is essential for productivity. That's bullshit. The third reason that companies will ask you to come back into the office is for the sake of culture and improving culture. There are some benefits to being in an office every now and then. You get to talk to your friends, you get to meet people, you can get visibility from higher ups, you can sort of remind people that you still exist. That's important. That utility does not require you to be in the same place 5 days a week, 9 hours a day. You can achieve all of those cultural benefits of meeting people, etc., relationship building from a quarterly visit. The other reason the argument of you must be in the office to build culture is bullshit is, number one, most offices are bereft of culture. There is no culture in an office by itself. Really, in most cases, the office is just full of people who don't want to be there. They wake up early to drive somewhere they don't want to be. They're not happy to be there. And the few people that do say hi to you are usually people on your team that you know closely. The best parts of the culture at work are the relationships you have with individuals on your team or in your company. And those relationships can be built virtually or remotely without being in person. Some of the best work relationships I've maintained them over the years without seeing these people in person. I still have calls with old bosses and old colleagues that I've only ever worked with remotely. So the whole argument of it's essential to maintain culture by you having your butt in the same seat for 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, driving 3 hours in traffic to get there, it's all bullshit. It's all not true. Anyway, guys, thanks for hearing me out. Really appreciate you tuning in. Have a wonderful evening.